Welcome to Reflections, a program where we discuss virtues and values for the transformation of the individual and the society in general. I am Father George Ihusani, and we are here still in the Christmas season discussing the spirit of Christmas as we enter New Year 2023. And I have with me in the studio again the Archbishop of Abuja, Archbishop IGNATIUS KAIGAMA. You're welcome to the studio once again.
Thank you, Father George. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And yes, New Year 2023 is here, and then we are in the spirit of Christmas. So, what is it about Christmas that should inspire us and should enlighten a New Year 2023?
Christmas has been so joyful. People are so friendly, and there's a lot of sharing. And there is a feeling, a mutual feeling. People are not only sympathetic, but empathetic to one another. And I think that is good. It's a good spirit.
That's the spirit of Christmas.
Yes, so I think that should transit into the new year. The new year is a new beginning, with new hopes, new vision and all that, and is an opportunity to start again. So let us inject our new year with the values we have discovered in Christmas.
What are these values?
You know what we need in this country? We need peace above all. And Christmas was all about the Prince of Peace. So that peace must be concrete. It must be palpable. It must be seen. It's not just a theory. And fairness and justice, these are issues that concern Jesus.
Yeah, clearly, we all need peace. But as we do say, and as it usually comes out in the Pope's New Year message for peace, normally the refrain about if you want peace, you must work for justice. Nigeria has experienced a lot of injustice. I mean, real and perceived injustice. How do we really let people know that the peace that we all desire cannot happen unless there is a measure of justice and equity in the society?
Yeah, that peace, the search for peace begins with me, begins with you. And it's only when we are fair to one another, when I give you what belongs to you,
I do, yes.
And you give me what belongs to me, and you respect me. You don't look down upon me. You don't intimidate me. You don't discriminate against me. You don't stereotype me. No, you make me feel as a full human being with dignity. But the moment you take away from me or I take away from you is a scenario building for chaos. And why people are fighting and yelling, the young people, the pensioners, those, because they have been deprived of something. And it's not as if we are so poor that we cannot take care of all these respective constituencies. We can. But there is so much greed and there is so much spirit of corruption that we cannot distribute the resources equally.
In the course of the year 2022, Your Grace, I have heard about embezzlement, corruption, monumental corruption, perhaps more than we have heard any year. I mean, 109 billion embezzled by one person. Hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is really, really sad in a country that cannot pay university teachers and they have to be on strike for 8 months. And yet, one individual is able to embezzle 80 billion, 100 billion. What does this say? And how are we going to overcome such a problem?
I ask myself, what will they do with all this money? You know that the Bible says 70 years is
a man's, yes.
And 80 for those who are strong. No matter how long you live, you can, very few cross 100, we die either before 80, before 90, 100, and so on. So the question is, what do you do with all this? Instead of spreading it around to conquer the hunger and poverty and misery that are all over, you take this and keep, and you don't even need it. How many beds do you need? How many rooms do you need to sleep in? How many cars do you drive at the same time? It is just inexplicable.
Don't you think it's some kind of mental psychopathology?
It's a sickness. It's this tendency to just grab. This is beyond kleptomania, being a kleptomania. It is really, I don't know. And unfortunately, we don't have anything in place to check this.
The system that allows that to happen.
It happens and happens again. Somebody awards a very absurd contract. With huge sums. Somebody, takes away food that should go to prisoners. They should eat 3 times a day. You find out they don't get even 2 meals. And there is provision for money to feed children in school. It doesn't work. What they get are scraps, crumbs of, food. And so what is it in our genes that makes us to be very, very disposed to corrupt practices?
Well, is it in our genes or in the system, in the political, social justice system that is not working well, which allows this to happen? I don't think it's in our genes because genetically we may not be different from Africans in Rwanda, for example.
That's true.
Right now, there is good governance.
Yes.
There is accountability. There is whatever, a good measure of it.
Yes.
But the genes are almost the same.
Yes.
So wouldn't be the system, a convoluted system we're running?
Yes. Now we have people going all over the place, campaigning and we believe whatever they tell us. But the moment they get there, it's a different story. And it's happening since 1960. This has been happening again and again. We go through the military, we think they are better, they end up doing
worse.
And then we transit to democracy and people come promising us this and things are not improving. There is retrogression instead of progression. I am saying this because as a pastor, as a priest, I meet people. I am not just an armchair pastor. I move around and I see the misery that people go through. And that this doesn't touch our leaders to say, look, something has been done differently.
I mean, there is even a graphic one that we all witness every day. In Abuja, for example, and some other major cities, there has been massive problem of fuel shortage. Fuel shortage where you see 1,000 cars queuing before petrol stations. And while that is happening, you see some official of government going to the airport with 20, 30 cars.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, are these people sick? Just the visuals. Can't you see that it is offensive to somebody who has slept in a petrol station all night queuing for fuel? It is offensive to his sensibilities to see somebody going with 20 cars, one person going to the airport, burning the same fuel for which you are queuing all night. Now, the fact that people can do this without thinking, I'm saying, I think a lot of people occupying positions of power may be needing examination, psychological.
Yeah, they need help. Bring them to Luxterra
for psychological
psychoanalysis. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how do you explain this? Somebody with a convoy of 20 cars. What do you need that for? Imagine the personnel there, the drivers, the police who have to be there to look after them and so on, and the expenditure that they incur by doing that. But they have no qualms. They don't have any sense of compunction. They just do it. And that is why political power in Nigeria is so attractive that everybody needs to be there, and not for the right reasons. I hope someday we'll get people who really, genuinely want to turn things around for the good. We need leaders who are ready to sacrifice. not just leaders who talk. They are ready to serve. You can see it in their lifestyle. You see it in the way they do things. They're even ready to offer
their personal,
their life even.
Yes.
To give their life for their people. I always give the example of that president, is it Chad or so, who led his troop. Is it?
Yes, Chad.
Who led his troop.
Yes, and got wounded. Yes.
Got killed.
Yes.
And so on. So will our leaders ever think of something like that? That where there is problem, there you find a leader. Yeah. And no matter what, you must be visible.
Actually, it is challenges like that that produce leaders, real leaders.
Yeah. Yes.
It is such challenges are supposed to produce real leaders, those who have sacrificed themselves for their people, and their people now say, okay, you lead us.
Yeah, but the way our people spend the money as campaigns are going on, you hear so many billions are being spent, and you think that is for free. After the elections, it's time to recover. And they become so blind to reality. They become so deaf.
So you are talking about those who are just investors then?
Yeah.
Not leaders.
They're not leaders.
It's an investor who has invested in the elections and want to recoup.
With great interest, fantastic interest. And so that is why we keep dancing on the same spot.
So what is our responsibility then as church towards educating our flock and educating the rest of Nigerians about the way they should go? What's our responsibility?
My responsibility as a church leader would have been to pray and to bless people and to counsel people. But unfortunately, my role as a spiritual leader has transmuted to a social provider, a humanitarian worker, because every day you find hundreds of people around you. Yesterday at the Pro Cathedral, they were giving out yams and rice to people. Like the noise. I was in my room and I said, is there a war? What is happening here?
Yeah, because people are they are desperate for food.
Yeah, clamoring to get the bit of rice, a bit of yams and so on and so forth. And I see desperation, frustration, and helplessness. And I say, what do I do? That's why I said my work now, instead of being that,
it's not just
to bless you,
pray,
to read the Bible and explain to you, or to gather you for counseling. No, it's about social service. I need this. When I get up in the morning, my telephone is filled with messages from people. I think in the night, they just keep imagining, calculating their problems, and then they write it out, and in the morning, they send it to you. And then you wake up, when you put on your phone, it is all the messages.
The messages are rolling in.
And some go on to just provide their bank accounts and say, look, this is what we need and this is our bank account. They may not have known you, or
they don't need to know you. They don't need to know you.
So that tells you the degree of misery. If everybody was being paid well or allowed to work and earn a good living, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing. I would just focus on your the quality of your spiritual life, the quality of pastoral work, and all that. But I have to worry. I have to build schools. I have to build clinics, vocational centers. I have to gather youth to animate them, motivate them, and encourage them, and so on. It's not easy.
So what you are saying is that the failure in governance, the mismanagement of the resources of Nigeria is putting a lot of pressure and stress on pastoral workers.
Absolutely. I suffer more. I keep telling them that if a minister here would want to compare, let's compare our work, the nature of work we do in a day, and he will see that I have quite a lot to do, because I don't have any police.
You don't have people to shield you away from the people.
My gate is open. People come and go, and sometimes they even begin to blame you, because we have provided for them for so long due to the non-performance of our government. We provide education, we provide healthcare, we provide food. St. Vincent de Paul is providing, and then they think now it is our duty.
Yes.
They think it is a right. And when they come and you tell them you don't have it, they tend to say, what is the church doing?
Oh yeah, there is a lot of, what is the church doing? What is the church doing? A lot of people no longer recognize that our role is to preach the good news.
And pray for them.
Yes.
That things will be
and that the government, it is government responsibility to provide the infrastructure for businesses to thrive, for agencies, and then to take care of the handicapped, to take care of the aged, to take care of people who have no job, that there is unemployment benefit, that there is some cheap housing for poor people who cannot afford their housing. That this is the primary reason for government.
Yes, but that is absent, that is missing. And each time I have a meeting with the young people, which I do very often, I try to explain to them, I would like to help you. I would like to provide jobs. I would like to provide food and all that you need. But I am helpless. Here I am struggling from the little collections that I get from the church, the bazaars they do. We put all this together and we are able to manage these resources prudently. Sometimes it gives the impression we have a lot in the church. But I told them, no, it's not. It's the sacrifice I make, you make. We don't have our own biological families, nuclear families.
If we had our own, then we won't have anything left for charity. I mean, somebody like me would have had. I think I'm very fertile. 10 children. 10 children. And if I have to send 10 children, and since I am a member of the elite, my children will go overseas for studies.
So what do you have for
there
the
will
poor?
Be nothing for the poor.
Yes. So, and I keep saying, when will the government realize this? That the Catholic Church has been a partner for so long, from when this nation became a nation. We have been there. The Catholic bishops have done so well. During the COVID-19, I led a delegation to the secretary, the federal government, and we volunteered our over 400 hospitals. So that we could combat that
menace, the plague.
But unfortunately, there was no response. Nothing. Nobody got back to us. Consider this: primary schools we have in the nation, the secondary schools, now the universities. The church has been investing a lot. And I thought, like in America, they will be able to say,
recognize,
these are good. Now, we have the Catholic Relief Services. They are here. It's the government of America that supports the Catholic Church so that they can reach out and provide social services. In Nigeria, they want to take from us.
Actually, there is a problem. They don't seem to have the realization, I'm talking of agencies of government, to see that there are churches that are involved in social services for the people.
Consistent social services.
From 1865, when the Catholic Church came to Nigeria, to this day. And unfortunately, there are churches that are in millions for the pastor. And the pastor has millions.
And it's for the family.
And it's for the family, and so on and so forth, who are not providing the same kind of social services. And we are being looked at the same way.
When I see that, I really say, is the government really sensitive? Do these officials do their homework at all? Let them go into history and even statistical analysis of what the churches have done. And they will know the Catholic Church has stood out.
Which is why there is no celebrity bishop who owns houses and private jets and so on, because all the money that comes into our churches are channeled. A lot of it is channeled to social services.
Let me tell you, during this Christmas, I'm in the office and I get envelopes. People come and say, Bishop, Happy Christmas. Bishop, I say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But do you know that this doesn't come to me? I have enough to eat. I have rice. I have yams. When I go around the villages, they give me goats. They give me chickens, and I have them in my house. So when they bring these gifts to me, I told them I am only serving as a distributor. I'm accepting these gifts
to be sent out.
I have to give it out to those who need, because I know them better than those who are giving. So I meet them at their point of need, and I say, have this and have that. So I thank all those who see this and come to share with us the little they have, and we are able to transmit this to those who are really desperately in need.
So, I mean, this is it, that it is the spirit of Christmas to do what you are doing, to do what many church leaders are doing, especially within our fold. What many pastors are doing, many priests are doing, to at this time to collect from those who are endowed,
able,
and spread it to those whom they cannot reach.
They cannot.
But who reach us?
Oh, they do.
Because like you said, the minister, for example, the MD of some big company, for example, he has security guards, he has gate, he has maybe wild dogs at his gate. So the poor cannot reach them.
Not at all.
But the poor can always reach us.
Anytime.
If they cannot reach your house, when you are coming out of mass,
they grab you. They grab you. They say,
when you are coming out of mass,
I get people with their CVs. They come to church
with their CVs in their pocket.
Yeah, they want to, and then they're just asking God to bless them. And as soon as I unvest and I'm coming out,
they are giving you the CV.
There's a long queue. I used to attend the Stations of the Cross in the Pro Cathedral. I enjoy doing it together with the people. So we go around. And after the Stations of the Cross, I am returning back to my house. I begin another set of Stations of the Cross because people are lined up and they are waiting for me.
It's a new Stations of the Cross.
I come to this one, he said, I haven't eaten for so many days. I come to this one, he said, I'm from Boko, I am from Yola, and so I have no job. I come to this one and he said, here is my CV. Get some minister to give me work. I will not get to my house until maybe an hour and a half after because I'm attending to people who are badly in need and I don't have. And I tell them, look, the government doesn't even realize that I'm doing this. They don't help. Rather,
they are making demands.
Even the schools we have, the hospital, they want taxes.
They want to tax it because they think that they are profit-making things. Whereas we don't. If we make any money from anything we have,
it goes back.
We ploy it, which is what non-for-profit organizations is all about.
I said maybe the government needs to do a bit of study to know which religious organizations that really are into humanitarian services and those who are in there for commercial purposes. They need to distinguish that. But when they lump
us together,
everybody together, and they refuse to help those who should be able to help others, I take exception to that.
Seriously,
it's unfair.
It's a sad thing because in other countries, like you give the example of America, they recognize the number of schools and hospitals run by the Catholic Church. And therefore, they make contribution to the church in order that they may keep running those schools. And it used to be so. We used to have grant-aided schools in this country. The military came and wiped them out. And now we are being treated as if we are running commercial entities.
Let me tell you, I've been trying to get a small primary school built somewhere in part of Abuja here, and we cannot get approval for since over 1 year now. The little money I saved has gone.
Yes, of course, the value is gone. Or you have even used it for charity now.
For different things, people come in with needs and so on.
To round out the program, Your Grace, what message do you have directly concerning the elections to our people? As the elections are coming, people are afraid of violence and all kinds of things. What message do you have for our people?
Well, we just keep praying. I tell people that my job is to pray. I pray that there will be a genuine election. There will be, things will be done properly. And all those different sectors involved will do their work professionally. I'm talking of the INEC officials, the police, the security people, and those who are associated with the elections. When people see fairness, they would never create problems. But when people see that you are trying to trample on them and pull a fast one on them, they resist. And it is time that we allow principles to reign, not naira, giving out money here and there. Tell us what you have for us as a nation, and then people should vote for you based on that. But unfortunately, people are capitalizing on the poverty that is everywhere.
They are weaponizing the poverty.
And then they use that and they spend Terrible. I say, where was all this money stored that they can spend so much money on political parties, on planning and strategizing how to win elections?
Because they are able to loot so much when they get into power.
No compunction, no feeling of regret whatsoever. So I am begging that we hope this time it will be different.
We all look forward to it.
We just pray. I'm so I have advised people to get their cards ready and protect these cards. I have done that myself.
Yes.
And I am ready to vote. And we must look well. We must discern.
Yes.
We must see clearly to know those who really want to serve us.
And then it is not enough to just go and vote. That we must continue to defend our democracy by making sure that the people we vote into power, they acknowledge that we put them into power.
Yeah. When people come to me and complain, the church does not do this, the church does not do that, I say, but you voted for people. There are councillors, there are
House of Reps, senators.
Why don't you go to them?
Yes.
And they come to me, and as I say, sometimes they want to blame even the church. They are not doing enough. I had to explain to the youth several times that the church is there for you.
Are they not the church? Are they not part of the church?
The church is your mother, the church is your teacher, and everyone belongs. So why do you think we should just be responsible for employment, for providing this and that? It's not our duty, but we are trying to be there for you.
On that note, I am bringing this program to an end. I have been speaking with the Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius KAIGAMA, and we've been reflecting on the spirit of Christmas and how the spirit of Christmas can be used in the new Nigeria we are all looking forward to in the new year. Your Grace, thank you very much for coming to this studio.
Thank you. May God grant us a better, renewed, and reborn Nigeria.
Come 2023. God bless you. Thank you.